have to make sure this is actually... Oh, hey, okay. Yay. Okay, we're live. I like how I get an email saying, you're now live. No, really? Just making sure I can hear. I think we're going to up this a little bit more. My audio just sucks. So you're going to have like dead air in the beginning. I hate that. All right, you can hear me in the background. I'm just double checking. Because last time I did a live, I knew you could hear me, so my microphone was working. I made sure that you could hear it close up rather than far away. But in my OBS, I can actually change the how loud it is because it was really low still. My audio just sucks. Okay, we're good. All right, so now... Okay, so now I have my OBS up. Okay, cool. All right. So we're up and live. I'm going to share it to my Facebook page because, you know, why not? So people can be like, I'm not going to go check it out. Okay. I don't think I have a thumbnail. Yeah, my life is a vlog. That I gotta change. I gotta change that. That's okay. It's all good. All right. So I just shared it because why not? Let's see if I can share it to my other page. I honestly have no idea why there are certain things that okay, cool. Not now, do not. All right. So it is not during the morning because, you know, my today was a bad day with my mom. I said I wanted to do more lives on here versus on my Facebook page because I feel like Facebook has really gone down. It's for older people. It's for people like me, right? I'm old now. Well, I never classify myself as old, but I mean, I'm of the time of AIM and MySpace. But I mean, even MySpace was for people that are a bit younger anyway. Sorry, I'm just making sure my mom doesn't get up. Gotta cover up my thing here. Okay. So, I am breaking out like a middle schooler. It's great. I'm pretty sure I'm PMSing, so this is probably another reason why I'm either going to come across very angry or emotional. So, well, anger is part of emotion, but emotional as in like, or start crying. So I apologize in advance. But if you like to watch that sort of thing, people breaking down live on air, this is the place. Do you like my bruise that's going away? They stuck me so many times, and because they're like, your veins are so valvy. What does that mean? What does that mean? So, if you've watched my previous live or anything of my other vlogs that I have done, I've explained, or even if you're a friend of mine and know, I'm on disability right now. We'll be moving on to family leave, possibly after that, because it depends on where my mom ends up in all of this. We're still waiting for the state to hurry up, come across, but they're never really quick with anything. So, all right, when I first moved out of our house, and that was in Hamilton, that I discussed prior, that we lost, and we had to live in this small apartment. That was a 2-bedroom apartment. There was 3 of us, so my son had to sleep in with me because we didn't have another room. And and the people downstairs smoked like chimneys, and we didn't have control over our heat. Downstairs did, and they were older people, so upstairs was always like extremely hot. We had like the windows open, and then like the landlord's like, why are we using so much oil? I'm like, because downstairs is turning it up to 90 degrees and it's just literally going right out the window because we're so hot we have to open the windows. So maybe you should put a lock on that. Anyway, it was what we had to do at the time. So when I moved, I quit my job that I was at for 9 years and 5 months. If I had waited, they would give like you would get a bonus for being there for 10 years. But unfortunately, it wasn't like I just was like, okay, peace out, I hate you all, I'm out. It was nothing to do with that. We moved, my son was younger, I didn't want to leave him by himself, my mom was still working, and it was a new place that I didn't know, nor did I trust. So I was like, since mom was working, I would find a job that was at night. And I did. I eventually worked at UPS. But before that, there was I'd say 4 or 5 months where I wasn't working. So I was doing, I wasn't doing much because of the fact that I was like heading down a very, very severe depression. And that 2018 was the year I got diagnosed. Now, however, I believe I've always had depression and anxiety, never formally diagnosed. So it was just a really bad year. I mean, I lost my house of nearly, my home of 30 years. Living in a small place, unsure what was going to happen, a lot of change going on. And I just, it was just bad. So I would sleep a lot. I would get be very irritable. Like I'm not irritable all the time. There has to be indicators that, or like outside things that are happening that require to be happening with, and then me being like real severely pissed off. Like you have to really be irritating me for a long time before I get super irritated. I don't even know why I'm having to. I don't have to explain myself. Anyway, so I was like very irritable. There was a lot of stuff going on, and I was like, very. I didn't know what I was doing. I was still going to school. Thankfully, I did finish that, and I finished my associate's degree, and I went in to do my bachelor's degree, transferred everything, and that I kept going, and I still keep going. I think that's the only thing that I've been consistent with just because, like, it was something that I dove into under my own decision, being told that it was a worthless endeavor. So because of that, and because I made that decision on my own, for like, without consulting anybody, I did it on my own. I made it a point to be like, I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to do it well. And so far, yeah. Just for proof, these are my accomplishments. My Atlantic Cape Community College, I was on the dean's list every single semester. That's just one of them. That's on the left. And on the right is my associate's degree. Below is Sigma Kappa Delta, which is the English Honor Society. And the Oscar-looking like statuette in the middle is me receiving an award for my creative nonfiction story that I wrote, that my teacher put me in for because she thought it was so good. So I am determined to keep that momentum going. However, saying that, I feel like now I am continuing school. I got new pens. They're Sharpies and they're black, but they're black ink. But look, it's white. I love these. These are they write so nice. I love pens. But I actually was starting to run out of pens that actually worked, and it's very unlike me. I usually have pens all over the place, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm running out of pens. What is happening? So I bought some pens. Was it a worthless thing to purchase? Perhaps. But I got 4 of them, so I will use them. They will get used. Anyhow, so you'll see me fooling around with it, so I apologize. It's my baton. So in that list of accomplishments, I feel like, okay, I've gotten on the dean's list a couple of times at Drexel. I have gotten A's and B's, mostly A's, in my quarters because they're separated a little bit differently in semesters when I was at Atlantic Cape. But I don't feel like I have had I don't know. I still feel like I have the drive because I want to finish it. But at the same time, I don't know if it's like that. In my head, the person who told me it was a waste, that I'm thinking to myself, was it a waste? Because the job that I am at now is a marketing assistant position. My degree is communications, concentration in public relations. Marketing is part of that. It is public relations, sales, marketing. It's kind of like not all encompassing. It's part of it. It's a branch off. So it works. There's so many different avenues you can take with a communications degree. Hence the reason why I chose that, and it had a lot to do with because I like writing and I have a passion for writing. And I probably am harping on the same damn thing constantly, especially about this job. And perhaps it's just me wanting to have something so much more than I maybe can get. And I like to have some creative freedom. Like, I have so much creativity that I can put in something. If you give me prompts on it, I can make it into something awesome. And I don't usually praise myself, nor do I toot my own horn. But toot fucking toot, mother effers. But I freaking can write. That is my one and only thing that I feel like I can do. And again, I apologize if I get angry. I'm just in that type of mood. So, I can definitely write. And I can write creatively. Marketing is advertising. You're advertising things. So you kind of want to have an advertisement that's interesting and you want to bring people in. But the way that the company that I work for, they are marketing towards their own customers already, the customers they already have. So their customers are already companies within that same field. So it's not like Joe Schmo on the road and you're trying to explain exactly what it is. However, if you wanted to work towards homeowners, they don't know what you're talking about when you're like flailing off all this scientific jargon. They don't know what that means. So what I don't understand, excuse me, I need a drink. What I don't understand is that, okay, so you want to market towards people who already are your customer or already within that umbrella of like work and what they already know what you're talking about. How about there are two separate marketing avenues? You have the marketing for the people who already know your core customers and the people you work with, and then you have another avenue of marketing towards people who are literally clueless as to what you're talking about. So instead of just being like, because I wrote in an advertisement, like a commercial, like, did you know that this is this, and then like, you should do this, like to help your like testing. It's all testing. So it's like, you should do this in order to make sure that your house is mold free. Did you know that this could happen after like, a major obviously if you have flooding, there's a possibility of having freaking mold, but I mean, giving them a little bit more details as to like how the testing is and kind of like giving them a little bit, they'd be like, I find it interesting. And there are other people that would find it interesting as well. But then I would get back saying like, no, they already know what you're talking about. We're marketing towards, X company who already does mold testing, but we want their work, their off work or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, I get, so you want to market this way. So how about you have two different ways of marketing? You want to market towards the people who don't know, and you market towards the people who do know. So that the people who do know will like, well, did you know that almost said the company. Did you know that X company can also do X, Y, and Z, and not just Y? And so that other company would know like, oh, wait a second, we were only sending you Y, but we can also send you Z because that's what we also work in. So I get why they want to do it that way, but then it's like, then you have your normal person such as myself that until I worked for the company, I didn't know all of the stuff that went into it. How to sample, how to like what goes into all of these different things. So why don't you have two separate marketing things, which I have made mention of, but I'm like one of those people, and I know it's a problem, that especially if I'm not very much interested in all of this and like I'm just like not all present, I just was like, okay, this is what you want, fine, I'll do it. And I just feel like I'm copying and pasting the same freaking thing day in and day out, and it's the same gosh darn thing that I complained about in my other jobs, except for UPS. I actually enjoyed, until I hurt my back, I didn't mind working at UPS. It wasn't enough hours, and I don't think I could have done like an 8-hour day. I only worked 4 to 5 hours a night, and it was heavy lifting. Like, it was bad, but I lost a lot of weight. I feel like I'm gaining weight. Tomorrow is my scale day, so I'm gonna get the horrible news tomorrow along with my measurements. So I probably gain all of my work back, whatever. Yeah, so that's fun. But anyway, so all of my other jobs, I complained about the same thing. Like, this is freaking same thing all the time. And I guess if you don't mind doing the same thing all the time, like if you enjoy it, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. I'm so lost right now. I am so lost. I was on a freaking train of like, I am doing this, and it completely derailed this year. Now, I don't know if it's because of my mom and everything that's going on with that, and I'm starting to question the long-term like ramifications of this, and then like where I've been going my whole entire life, because I feel like I've gone nowheresville and real fast to there. I had a one-way ticket. But I'm going to be completely honest with you, whoever is out there listening or not listening, I am completely lost. I don't know what I'm doing or what I want to do. I say I'm like, I love to write. I do. But what do I want to write? You know, like I have all these ideas of like novels, short stories, or poems, and I have lots of poems written. But what's that going to get me? I have a son that he's going to be 18 next year. So technically he's on his own, but I wouldn't just be like, okay, bye. You know, like I want to make sure like he's properly prepared for everything. And I think every parent wants that. But I don't know how am I a really good role model for a child? And let's face it, since the point he existed, is how am I a good role model to this person when I don't freaking know what I'm doing? Oh, great. Hold on. I'll keep you on for this. This is a whole other story that I would like to address. Oh, he changed it. Okay, so here, side rant. But he changed it, so I do appreciate that. Still a neutral feedback. So lost. Well, I'm just going to end it at that. I have no idea exactly where the hell I'm going with work and stuff. Okay, we don't need it this bright. No one needs to see this. Okay. Ugh. Darkness, please. Anyway, that's why I only have like one light in the back. I used to have lights going around here. And when I was upstairs in my office area, I was in such a I was in such a nicer area. I had light up and everything. It was great. But my room's all right. I mean, you can see my stack of comics. So, that's not all of them, by the way. So I sell on eBay. If anybody loves to collect comics or antiques or jewelry, or I don't really have coins anymore. Like we sold some of them and I kept the ones I wanted to keep. So coins and precious metal are really not on the table at the moment. But anyway, mostly comics. I have like over 400 not auctions, but buy it now, like items up on my eBay thing. And they're mostly comic books because they were collections that my mom had, but also my dad got for my mom that were just, my dad was a barterer. So he was a master carpenter. He was a superintendent at RM Shoemaker in Philadelphia. If I've already mentioned this, I'm sorry. I really like to repeat myself. He helped build schools, hospitals, and that's actually how him and my mom met, because he was helping build a wing or something on Pennsylvania Hospital where my mom worked. So, yeah. If I was not told a lie, because I feel like there's some things that was told that were like questionable stories. Anyway, so what would happen is, like, so after my dad retired from being a carpenter, and even before that, he actually would go on the weekends and set up at a flea market, at the Quaker City Flea Market in Philly. And he had his own stall, and he was a jeweler. He did jewelry and watch repair. I wish he taught me watch repair. He taught me how to figure out like jewelry and how to oh look, no one's watching. Why did I even bother? Anyway, I'm not doing this for the viewers. Like I said, it's cathartic for myself. Anyhow, so he would I wish he taught me watch repair, because I have a lot of watches that could be repaired. I know most people have like digital watches now. This is my Fitbit. Do you see how fat my arm is? Ugh. Anyway, ugh. So stop getting off topic, Gabrielle. God damn. Okay. Focus. He taught me about jewelry, how to test for the pureness of the metal, and he taught me about coins and grading and all the rare things, what you're looking for. But he didn't. I think I probably didn't ask about the watch repair. I asked about the jewelry, sparkly things, and I asked about the coins because I found it interesting. But the watches I didn't, and I'm kind of annoyed that I didn't, because I think he would have shown me. He didn't have any problems to show me those things. Anyway, so when he had the stall at the Quaker City Flea Market, if somebody owed him money, or say somebody he was selling like a ring or a necklace or something, and something somebody wanted, but perhaps they only had say it was a $1,000 thing. They only had 600 or maybe closer to, and they're like, how about this? I'll give you the cash that I have. He also do layaway. My dad was the greatest. Anyway, he would do, he would take their cash, and he'd be like, well, what do you have? What else do you have? So my dad would that's how he had all the Hummels. That's how he got coins. That's how he got watches and other things. And maybe he got other jewelry in bartering. But he also got comic books. Because he knew my mom liked comic books. My dad was, it's odd. My dad was a gruff man who looked like he would kill you. But he had a great sense of humor. He loved to have fun. He loved photography. He didn't get into photography as a profession, but he did love it. He loved to collect things, and I think after he married my mom, that collection got a little out of hand because my mom didn't question it. My mom was very welcoming to all of that stuff, and she was also a collector. And liked all of that stuff. So anyway, bartered. So we had a crap ton of comics. So we don't need all of them, and there are a lot of war comics. So we already picked through the comics that we wanted to keep. My son has all of the Spider-Man comics. So if you're looking specifically for Spider-Man, I'm sorry, but my son has them. And we actually have some really good key comics. My dad never taught me about comic book grading or how to grade or what you're looking for. I've been learning that on my own. I'm not a professor. I'm not a professor. I'm not a professional. I'm not a professor either. Nor do I want to be one. But yeah. So not a professional, which I say in my thing. So if you are interested in comic books, leave a comment. I will share my my eBay information, and you can have a look there. I'm pretty good with my grading. I also do best offer. We'll barter with you. I'll not barter. I will haggle with you. I'm pretty good. I know how to do things, and I offer free shipping. It's free shipping. All of it's free shipping. Anyway, so I had this incident where so my mom's been very bad, and we had my mom was in the hospital. We went to the ER. We went into the ER. She had a UTI because she was acting really off the wall, more so than normal. So apparently UTIs can really mess you up, which I said before. And I had to give her all this new medication, and my schedule was completely whacked off. I just went on to disability. I was waiting for my payments. People were purchasing left, right, and center of these comics. I didn't have any more covers to do. I send everything out in new boards and covers. I had to get the I send them out in these, but I also have other black ones that I got. I got 4. I am I have everything that I need currently. So you want to buy, I have it to send. But anyway, it was a really hectic time. So I messaged the buyers that purchased, and I said, listen, I know I have a 3-day turnaround to give me time to make everything because I was working, but now I'm I can do everything fairly within a day or two. but because of what happened with Mom, I was behind. So I messaged all of the buyers, and I said, listen, I'm very, very sorry. These are going to be delayed, and I am very sorry. This is what happened. And I explained, and I was like, my mom has dementia. I have a problem, whatever. And I'd say like 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, which majority of them responded gracious, very gracious. They were like, don't worry. It's a comic book. And I think I sold a Hummel, and they're like, it's not a problem. Whenever. They're very, very nice. So this one person asked me about it, and I was like, I'm so sorry. They're going out today. And it was literally the day I got everything, and I put everything together, and I'm like, I took Mom with me to the post office so that Bryce didn't have to worry about, my son didn't have to worry about watching her if she was having like a moment. And she went for a ride with me, and I sent everything out. And they never responded back to me. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully that meant it was okay. It was delivered today, and I got a negative feedback. And now I can understand and be like, it wasn't the comic I thought it was going to be. It was poorly described, and you were shit slow at getting these things to me, or the comic to me. But no, what they said was that took 10 days to get sent out, and received it, have the comic, everything's okay on that end, but they gave me some sob story. This is unacceptable. Will not purchase from the seller again. Stop it. Go lay down. Thank you. Tahoe, what's the problem? Lay down. Anyway, so I was like, excuse me? Sob story. Like, I get people lie. I get people do that. I understand that. But I'm straight up with people, and I made sure I contacted everybody, and I'm like, I am so sorry. And I even said, like, if you want your money back because this is going to take too long and you want to go on there and purchase from somebody else, by all means, I get it, because maybe you purchase this and their birthday's in like 3 days. I get wanting things right away, especially nowadays. Everybody wants everything yesterday. So he never responded, or he, she, it, I don't know who they are. They never responded to me. So I was like, all right, I think we're okay. So I let you know. So I asked for a revision, because I'm like, I asked for a revision from the buyer, and I said, listen, I'm writing out to you personally because I understand it was late getting to you, and I understand that I have a date on there. I did let you know what was going on, and as you say, it's a sob story. It's my daily. Okay, I have to deal with this on a daily basis. It's not like as though that I said I don't have any help. I had a problem, and I told you about it. If you wanted a refund, you could have told me, and I would have. It was an $8 comic, by the way. It wasn't like hundreds of freaking dollars. Anyway, so I was like, and I also asked eBay if they could remove it. eBay turned around and was like, no. And I guess I had somebody tell me it was a contract. They have a right to say no to that because you have a time frame. Fine. But again, like, I gave the option. I told them, I gave them heads up. You don't want to buy from me? Because this person's like, will not buy from you again. I'm like, fine. I don't want you to buy from me again. Please give me a break. The guy's I say guy. I don't know. The person actually buys and sells comics, so he probably is going to resell. I say he, what the heck? The person's probably going to resell the comic, or maybe it'll go with their own collection, but I don't know. Regardless, it's an $8 comic. Give me a break, okay? So I requested that. eBay already told me no, and the person actually changed it to a neutral one, so it doesn't affect my ongoing thing. And I was like, and it's still like not the greatest comment, but it's fine. I'd prefer a neutral, and I totally understand the neutral, but again, they could have just wanted their $8 back and I would have given it to them. And I'm like, I'll just sell it to somebody else. It's not a big deal. Anyway, that was my like drama today, and I was so angry though, because I take pride in what I do, okay? Even if it is selling some gosh darn comics. I say gosh darn like I haven't said the F word and the S word on here. I am so sorry. This is not family friendly. It is, but like, you know, just some profanity. I apologize. Anyway. So again, like I said, I'm probably PMSing, so that's probably why I went like off the hook about it, but I did respond I wrote a little bit. I told you I like to write. But, I was so angry. So angry. You're affecting my streak of being awesome. Yeah. So, another thing that I wanted to talk about is patience. That I was never one to be a very patient person. And I'm like, not in a sense of like, you know, nowadays where everything needs to be done like yesterday and all that. It's not on that level. But the patience of like, you know, like right now I can't think of how to say it, and I'm thinking like, all right, come on, hurry up, let's go. And there are days where I'm like more patient than the next. I don't know. And if I'm aggravated about something already, that patience is just gone. I'm just done. I do not take after my mom in that respect. My mom was a very patient person. I think you really had to really test her for like that patience to be worn out. She was pretty good. I didn't get that from her at all. But taking care of a loved one with dementia, and you are technically, since I've been home for it, I'm the only caregiver. Now, Bryce helps, but it's not... I want him to be kind of like away from it because he's already had to deal with enough while I was working. So, I've been having... So she has a problem staying on her own. I have to be like in earshot or eye shot or whatever. And she... can't... How can I state this? Usually, like, if I have her sitting on the bed here with me, if I have to really do something on my computer, like schoolwork or something like that, or I'm doing stuff on eBay and trying to get that sorted out, she'll sit in here and she's fine. Or I'll put something on the other screen for her to keep her like relaxed and like okay, and she's fine, and she'll sit there and she'll be fine. But today she was sitting in here for a couple hours, and then she got up and then she walked to the doorway and was like, I'm like, what do you need to go to the bathroom? I have to go through like this whole list as to like, because she can't articulate why she's uncomfortable or what she requires. I have to like kind of like go through a list and find out what it is. And sometimes I just have to like guess and give it to her, and then if that doesn't work, it's the next thing on the list. Excuse me. But she just was starting to get like this very confused look on her face, and she just shifted. She went from like being fine, talking with the dogs like I would do, having a fine time, to like completely like lost, confused, and not knowing what's going on, like what goes with confused. And she was like, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go. And I'm like, well, you can just sit down and I can put something different on. And then she was starting to like walk out, and I was like, oh, do you want me to put a show on in the living room for you and you can sit out there? And she's like, yeah, and wasn't really all there with everything. Well, she hasn't been all there in a while, but so I'm like, okay, so I put her show on that she's been watching and being cool with, so I have to kind of like rotate things, what she can watch and what like either makes her upset or she's just not interested in, and well, does need something like she kind of focuses in on. Anyway, so I put her out there, and then she just came back into my room, like I'd say about like 5 minutes after like I started to do my eBay stuff, because I was putting more things up. And she was like crying, and I was like, "What's the matter? Why are you upset? What happened?" She doesn't know. She doesn't know why. And then she was just like, because what happens is they don't necessarily know what's going on. I know why it happens. Like say she doesn't understand what's going on, why she's upset. So she'll like hone in on whatever she's looking at, and it's the dogs. Sorry. And she looks at the dogs and she's like, "Oh, I just didn't know where the dogs were." That's not the reason why she's upset, but that's what she's going to say, because that's what she saw at the moment I asked her why she's upset. Then the next time she went back into the living room, sat down for a little bit, came back, and was crying again. And I'm like, what happened? Like, do you need something? She's like, "No, I thought the dogs were gone," because she saw the dogs again. So the third or fourth time, she kept saying about the dogs, and then she came in and talking about like the Star Trek comic that was sitting right on top of the box. Or she would say something that was on my screen that I was doing at the time. So I was like, all right, I can't finish this in here. I'll have to go out in the living room, because she doesn't want to sit in here. And I needed we had to let the dogs out. I had to do dinner, and like she wasn't calming down. Now she has been recently put on an antidepressant, which has helped, because she was going like the episodes were like really bad. It was like extreme highs, extreme lows. There was really no in between. Hence the reason why the doctor put her on an antidepressant. And that's actually been helping to kind of like even it out, but she still has her moments. I guess that's with everything. But after dinner, while I was out there, she was like going into she can't do anything. She was going on this mantra of like how she's useless, and like, she needs to leave. And I'm like, you can't leave. Everything's fine. We're going to get some help, and we're going to do what we can. And after like the 50th or 60th time, and I'm saying like it was quite a few times that I start losing, and I know this might sound horrible, but I start losing patience. And like I said, I feel like I'm at that point of PMS, and I do have wild mood swings when I go on, like, people have problems, and I know I do. And I try to keep it under control, and it's hard, especially when you have triggers around that make it worse. And because I can't get an answer from her sometimes, because I can't figure out how to make her comfortable, I get frustrated. And I know she's probably frustrated as well. And I know that getting angry and being angry does not make the situation any better. But then I got the alert that I got like a negative feedback, and it was just like compounded, like, and then I'm like, oh, something else was charged to my card recently, and I have like no money again, and it's just like I just paid all of this stuff off, and because I was so late getting everything in. And I got another call from like a collection agency, like trying to get some money, because whatever I had set up fell through because I had no money. And it was just like literally bam, 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 bam. And that's where the title comes from, is from a quote that I found. And it's just like, oh my God. It's like experiencing like life at several what the fucks per hour. And it's seriously what it's been like. I don't know. I cannot catch a goddamn break. I don't know if I want to continue working at the job that I'm at. I'm trying to find another job. I contacted somebody. I gave them my information for LinkedIn. I think my resume is on there. I don't know if they're waiting for my resume. Have I reached out to ask? No, because I'm horrible. I just like to think that people forget about me. I'm penniless at the moment again. Well, not penniless. I have a little bit, but not very much. Like, I have to be careful. I'm getting my pay again next week, so that's a plus. But then I don't know what I'm going to do after disability, because I have to find out if the NJFLA, which is the family leave for New Jersey, which you get paid for, rather than the federal, which is unpaid, and I cannot go unpaid. I have to make sure like I had to change the dates that are on there, and in order for you to change the dates, you can't resubmit an application. You have to write a letter and state the request to change the dates and say why, and then put the certification from the doctor for those dates, which I did. I faxed it over twice because they still haven't done anything. So I'm waiting for that to come through so that I'm safe beyond the disability, unless I get that extended, because I feel like my depression's flaring all over the place. Yeah. I have to wash my hair. Haven't taken a shower. Feel gross. Just don't want to. I wish I could sleep, because usually how I handle things, like I've said, like is usually to sleep. But I haven't been able to because my mom keeps coming in. And let me tell you, I know this is karma coming back to bite me in the ass from when I was little, because I know I would scare the ever-living shit out of her at night when I would stand in the doorway when I was a child, just standing there silently, and you just see the silhouette. She does the same thing to me now, scares the ever-living shit out of me. I know it's karma. Now it's coming back. Bryce never did that to me. And there are times where, because I'm not awake when she wakes up, she'll come in my room and stand over me. It's creepy as hell. I like... I know it's not her fault, but my God, it's scary. Alright, so I think that's all I really want to talk about. So, welcome to my vlog. This is the 80s child. That 80s child, the Generation Y, and my name is Gabrielle Cataldi. I didn't actually say that in the beginning because, you know, why not? Why would I do that? I'm trying to survive and surf through life, but it's getting more and more difficult. I'll try and get some nostalgic things in here. But anyway, so if you're interested in I have a blog, which is, here's my website. It's GabrielleCataldi.com, as it says. I have all my blogs. I have my short stories. I have my flash fictions. I don't think I actually have short stories up there, but I have a spot for it. I have, excuse me, all my poetry. I have, my podcast is up there too. It's available on Spotify, Apple, Google, anywhere you get your podcasts, but you can listen to it on the off the website. It has everything on there. This is my podcast. If you're interested, it's that 80s child, the Generation Y. I have 3 seasons. It's actually 2.5 because I never finished this 3rd one because of everything going on. I'm hoping in the fall I can pick it back up and finish season 3 and then go right into season 4 because I've got lots of ideas. My son and I are also working on another YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. I'm sure if you're already seeing my YouTube live, you'll know. But that's that 80s child. I changed it because if you see the cover of this live, it says "My Life is a Vlog with Gabrielle." Was the original title for it, but because my brand across my social medias is that 80s child, I might as well keep it going, right? So it's that 80s child. This is the lives for it and the vlogs for it. My podcast will be up here on YouTube as well. I have a couple of live podcasts I did one with my son and one on my own, I think. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, so you have my website, you have my podcast, the YouTube channel. Oh, I had this picture of my dad and I miss my dad right now. Like, I feel like that's my dad being crazy, and me. I do truly miss that strength that he had, and I feel as though that he had his shit together. And I mean, no disrespect to my mother, but when my dad died, she just didn't know how to handle it. So my life kind of fell apart after, because I had to put the pieces back together myself after my dad passed. And now I'm like, continually having to like put everything back together. Um, Here's another music playlist that I created. Nope, that's not it. That's my this. Oh, all right. Well, we'll go on this. This is my Facebook page, my author page. If you're interested, it's Gabrielle Cataldi -author. I post whatever I'm doing, and my most recent blog post was July 14th. Just to so you know that I've really need to get back on that. But I really liked this banner I did because my desktop publishing or digital publishing class I took was helping me figure out a better plan of setting everything out. So anyway, so this is my author page. Please go and follow it. If I get 100 followers, I can get some monetization, like money ads and stuff for you. It's for you. But yeah, I have 89, so I'm only 11 out. So please give it a follow and a like if you'd like it. Here's my YouTube music. Let's see if it's here. My mood music. So I showed you the best of the best, and I don't know if it means that people view this. It is public. It's 3.8 thousand views, which is pretty awesome. It's 209 tracks, 6+ hours. So if you were at work, this will get you through almost a whole day. Getting rid of this fat suit. This is when I was actually going to the gym and actually trying. It's only an hour and 12 minutes. I was going to the gym for 35 minutes for cardio and then 15 minutes for muscle building and stuff. So I've got 18 tracks, exercise that ass off, and 59 views. So it's on there. I have some interesting things on there. I need to put some more things. Like it has like high beats per minute, so it's a lot of like dance music, but also like Tommy Two Tone 8675309 is like got a good beat, and you can walk pretty fast to that. Depeche Mode Central, because I love Depeche Mode. There's been 487 views on that. That's awesome. It's all Depeche Mode. This is like literally when I was going through all of their albums, so they're kind of like I would shuffle that. Please don't play it all the way, unless you do play it through. I don't care. What is this? Why is Bar Rescue on here? Get out of here. Outrageously oversized food portions from Bar Rescue. I watched that crap, so I don't know why that went on there. So sorry. Anyway, so yeah. Note that I really don't have I don't have any from the new album. I'm not that happy with it, but maybe I'm just a horrible fan. I don't know. Mood music is what I was showing you. Okay. So I created this a long time ago. Oh, it's private. That's probably why I couldn't see it. Never mind, you can't see it. So sorry. I can make it public. I don't really know why I could. There we go. Unlisted. Yeah, you can. I don't care if you see the music that I listen to. Okay, so now it's public. Okay. So this is an interesting mix because these are songs that I enjoy that, especially if I'm in a mood. This is probably what I'll be listening to this evening, just to kind of get me through a freaking day. This is my son's playlist. It's private. You can't see it. Sorry. Is this public? Is this? This is also private. I was a private person, huh? Oh well. So yeah, so the best of the best is public. So that's my biggest one, and I have the most views on it. I was wondering why I wasn't getting views on the other ones, because nobody could see it. All right. Well, anyway, so that's that. What else do I have? That's it. All right. So my website. Okay. Cut over to me again. Hello. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me if you did. Thank you so much for watching this. If it's not live, it's totally fine. I appreciate all of you. Please give this a like and subscribe. I only have 2 subscribers. And I know both of them, so... Oh, I was like, what the heck happened to me? I was leaning on things. Anyway, so all of my stuff is true life things that are happening. I try and go into nostalgic stuff when I'm not bitching about things, but the last couple of lives that I've done have been like, there's a lot of stuff going on. I'm thinking about my next live doing some like crazy stories that I can share, so just to make it more interesting. I meant to schedule this one, but like I said, I have like so many things that I'm doing, but whatever. So yeah, like and subscribe. Check out my podcast. Check out my website, GabrielleCatalde.com. My podcast is That 80s Child, The Generation Y. And you can get that anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, Podbean, anywhere. My website has every single episode. I find that Spotify only has like the last couple episodes. So website is where it's at until I can figure out how to do that. It's something to do with the feed from my website. I will figure that out. That was like something I was thinking about doing a while ago. Now I'm just like, whatever. I just need to get through today. Go in, like and follow my Facebook page, Gabrielle Cataldi-author. If I get 100 followers, I can do more things with the site, and I plan to do more as the weeks progress. I'm done school in another week, so I will have a lot more time on my hands, minus the time I have to deal with my mom. But and I say deal in the nicest way possible. There are days where it's a struggle. So yeah, so please check all of that out. I do appreciate all of you. Please leave a comment. Anything that you want me to discuss. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I've lived through the 2000s, and I'm still alive now. Anything you want me to discuss? Any interesting stories? I can give you like the most bizarre stories, and I've been through quite a few things, so I probably have a good couple stories to tell you. So thank you so much for watching, listening, looking at it, checking it out. And I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome. And I hope you have an excellent evening. It's Friday night because, what do I got? And going on, obviously nothing. And I will try and schedule the next one so you know ahead of time. So it was nice talking to yous. All right. Thank you. Bye.